Hi. A lot of news is coming in on how the government of Canada is changing its policy towards immigration. And frankly, if you were a person living in Canada for some time, this is something that you were expecting sooner rather than later. Because frankly, there was too much of a pressure buildup, and when pressure builds up beyond a point, something has to give. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about why the government is changing its entire direction towards immigration. What are the changes announced, and what are we expecting the future to be? And if you are a person who's seriously considering moving to Canada, how you should be changing your action plan. So, Canada is historically known as the country of immigrants. In fact, the people who lived here before 1600s, whom we call the indigenous people, are now only 5% of the total population. Between 1600s and 1800s, the French came here, and then the Britishers, and then the Irish, the Chinese, Japanese, and in 1890s, the first Sikhs came as a part of British troops. So, Canada prides itself in the fact that it's multicultural, it's multiracial, and it's very peaceful society. That being said, we have to understand that although Canada is huge, the northern parts, that is Yukon, Northwest Territories, and Nunavut, have very little population, and only the few big cities like Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, Winnipeg, Vancouver are taking the major brunt of immigration. So, as immigration increases, the housing prices in these cities increases astronomically. In a country which is traditionally used to huge houses with huge front yards and huge backyards, that Canadians take a lot of pride in decorating. These houses are now replaced by townhouses, apartments, and condos. The schools are overcrowded. The traffic is slow because the roads are too small to undertake huge traffic. And a country which was once renowned for its medical system now has a shortage of doctors. The jobs have all dried up, and quite understandably, Canadians are not very happy about it. So what we are seeing is a major policy shift of Canadian government towards temporary residents. That means international students and temporary workers. Starting with international students, we are already seeing that the Canadian government cut down the study permits by 50% in 2024 as compared to 2023. Also, the financial requirements, that means the funds that you were supposed to keep cashable as students in Canada during your study time, they have been more than doubled from $10,000 to $21,000. Now, very recently, the government has announced almost abruptly that students who are enrolled in postgraduate programs starting September 1, 2024, they will not be automatically granted a postgraduate work permit. So, postgraduate work permit is restricted to students who are doing a course in a public institution or in highly accredited private institution. Also, spouses of international students will no longer get an open work permit like they used to earlier. Now, only spouses of students enrolled in masters or doctoral degrees will get a open work permit. A lot of changes are also announced in temporary foreign worker program. Temporary foreign worker program was announced as an extraordinary measure to fill up vacancies which could not be filled up by qualified citizens or permanent residents. But over the years, we have seen a lot of exploitation of loopholes in these programs. So the government is getting stricter. The government is ensuring that no more LMIAs are granted in low wage streams, especially in cities where unemployment is more than 6%. Now, the exceptions is in food supply, healthcare, and in construction. Similarly, no employer can hire temporary foreign workers more than 10% of the workforce. Again, the exceptions being healthcare and construction and food security. Also, the workers hired under temporary foreign worker stream, they cannot be employed for more than 1 year. So these changes are multiple, they are abrupt. Something tells me that they are also irreversible. And in some ways, these changes are necessary because there is a lot of exploitation of international students and temporary foreign workers because international students work part time. so their employer does not need to give them any social benefits. And because temporary foreign workers, their work permit is linked to their job offer, so they are exploited by their employer because they cannot leave their job even if they are unhappy about it. So this shows that there is a greater need to understand how Canadian immigration system is going to work now. If you are planning to come to Canada, you have to rethink the entire process. Try to come as an international graduate or international postgraduate. When you join as an international student in international graduate or international postgraduate stream, or when you come under skilled immigration, you bring with you so much of experience and you bring with you so much of maturity and confidence that many youngsters who come at the age of 17 or 18 to do small courses in Canada, they don't have. And I'm sure you can make a better life for yourself. So basically, just saying, when rules of the game change, think differently, change your game plan, because if it's important to you, you will always make it. Good luck.